What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. My name is Amew, and today we're going to be checking out all of the Season 5 primary weapons, and we're going to be ranking them according to how I feel they should be ranked, from either an S tier, which is the best, to an F tier, which is the worst. Now, I recently had my account wiped by either a hacker or Activision's negligence, so going off of what I remember on all these weapons and what I've used in the past and what I've used in Season 5 now, we're going to go ahead and rank these weapons for you. As you can see here on Tier Maker, we have a tier created for the Warzone primary weapons of Season 5. As you can see, everything here ready to go for us to sort out. So this is based on purely my subjective opinion. There are some objective things I may go over on what makes a weapon better or not, but right now the meta has shifted a little bit in Season 5, and that does change per patch, and they do seem to patch things, dead into the water sometimes, or dead out of the water sometimes. So we're going to go ahead and do this live on one take and just get my true opinion on where I feel these weapons rank. So we're going to start with the 725. In Warzone, currently the 725, in my opinion, F. You only have 2 shots. It does a lot of damage, but unless you're playing in solos, it's really not a viable weapon. Maybe in the gulag, but beyond that, not viable. AK-47 with the new buff that just came out on the 1.26 patch. That is what we're talking about, Season 5 1.26. So we're going to go ahead and I think the AK can hold its own in the B slot. It is good, but it is not the king. AK-47 454. I'm going to put that on C rank. The AMAX, this guy, I think the AMAX right now is an S tier weapon. That does belong in the meta. The AMAX with the single shot round, the 10 round mag with the single shot, that is, it's a good DMR, but it is very, very ineffective against squads and groups. We're going to pop that in at a C. AUG 556, it's still very viable. I'm going to pop that in at a B. 556 round with a 60 round drum. I think it works great. It's still a viable weapon. AUG with standard ammunition, it's good ground loot, but it's not a super good gun beyond that without the 556 rounds. That's going on D. AX50, this sniper rifle still is very, very much so meta, S tier. Bruin MK9. It was the god gun for a few weeks when everybody got on board with it after the new patch came out. And then they decided to nerf it, and basically have nerfed it completely into the ground at this point. So the Bruin MK9, honestly, at this point, we're going to be putting it at a... it's still good. I mean, it's still good, don't get me wrong. I think it's still in the I think it's in the realm of kind of the AK and the AUG 556. Explosive crossbow, I've been experimenting with it. It can be used in certain situations, very situational. C. Regular crossbow, I'm going to put that guy down at D. It's not nearly as if you hit somebody with an explosive crossbow, that's going to be one hit down, and then when they're downed, the explosion will kill them that way in solos, or if you're in squads, the arrow will hit them, destroy their armor, and then down them that way after the explosion. Dragunov is still trash, the worst gun in the game, in my opinion, hands down. There's no other competitor right now for worst gun in the game, with the exception of the Slug VOK Rogue, but the Dragunov right now, F, awful. EBR can be good if you customize it properly. On the EBR, it's still pretty limited to what you can do with it. So I personally would put the EBR at either a C or a D Personally, I never use it, and I think the ground loot variants are absolute trash. So putting that at a D. FAL, I'm still using this quite a bit. It did get nerfed, but it didn't get nerfed by much. You can still just ruin people if you have a fast trigger finger. So we're going to pop that up on A tier. It's not quite meta like it used to be, but it's very, very viable. Fennec 45. Man. I think that this Fennec 45 needs to go low. Very small rounds, or amount of rounds, and then single fire rate. The standard Fennec, pretty good. Put an extended mag on that, run around the drum. That one's pretty good, but also has its limitations with range. So fires super fast, very limited in range. FR 556. Still not a great weapon. It's getting better. They buffed it a little bit. It used to be in the F tier. I would bump it up to a D right now. Growl 556, still a viable weapon. Bounces a little, but still really, really good. Nice fast fire rate. Good mobility. I think the Growl, man, I was in love with this thing when it was meta, and it just got played out. So I started to hate it, and it was super annoying. So I'm going to put the Growl at an A still. HDR. Classic sniper rifle. Hits hard as hell. Super accurate to laser beam. Still with, you can't go wrong with it. It's going to be in the meta for a while. It's still here until it gets nerfed, if it ever does. S tier. Holger 26 got a pretty nice buff. But that being said, it's basically an LMG that wants to be an assault rifle hit marker machine. I do get quite a few hit markers with this guy. So we're going to pop the Holger up on, I think it's about at the, I think it is a B tier weapon right now. Kar 98K, very good sniper rifle with that buff. Many people could argue that it's S tier. I personally don't think it's S tier due to the range limitations, but a lot of people might argue me. But that's why it's subjective. In my subjective opinion, Kar 98K is A tier. Kilo 141. This is the god gun right now. That's going to the front of the line. Kilo S class. I don't think it can be beat by anything right now, with the exception of maybe a PKM or an M4. But right now, the Kilo 141 is where it's at. M13 blackout rounds. It's got some limitations with the magazine size, so we're going to pop that down at a C. Regular M13 is phenomenal. Also could be considered meta. I don't do super good with it, so I'm going to put that at an A. But M13 does shoot very quickly. It's pretty forgiving with the recoil. It can be a really, really good weapon. I just don't think it's going to be able to beat out a Kilo or an AMAX, especially when the AMAX has a way higher time to kill. And the Kilo's just got some massive range, and it's a monster. M4A1 9mm rounds. Very, very limited use, but it does shred. I would pop that in the same category as the Fennec. So C class. M4A1, very much so meta still. I'm going to pop that up at S class. So M4 is pretty damn good, but I prefer the Kilo right now. I prefer the AMAX. M4 is phenomenal still. Has a really fast fire rate, really long range. It just, without the right attachments, for me, it bounces a little too much, but in my opinion, still an S tier. 458 SOCOM, very situational, but still hits really hard. Also going to put that in the C rank. M91 did get a buff after 1.26. It's still looking good, still feels good. I just don't really see many people running it, and not much of a reason to when you've got the PKM around. So M91 is good, but that's in a B class right now. MG34, not good in Warzone. Honestly, I've only ever seen a custom one maybe once or twice. I personally don't use it. I used it a lot in multiplayer just to cheese around, but It's very limited on its fire rate, pull-up time. I really would love to see this one buffed a little bit. I like these old World War II weapons, so we'll see. That one is going to belong down in the F tier. MK2 carbine, not a big fan of it. It's good with certain build outs on it, but not super great overall. I'm going to pop that down at a C. Model 680 shotgun. I don't know what the difference is here between these two. Let's just say this one here has Dragon's Breath rounds. That belongs to B tier. The standard model, D tier. There are way better shotguns right now. MP5 10mm rounds got nerfed into the ground. MP5 still good. This will still do great. So I would venture to say the 10mm is going to be C class or B class, maybe. MP5 right now is still very much so meta. I think that's an S tier weapon. MP7 also S tier weapon. Oh, Odin, good with certain setups. Not great all around though. I'd venture to say the Odin B class. Origin 12 right now. Use it while it is still good. They're probably going to nerf it into the ground. It is replacing SMGs. If you get within 5 feet of anybody with an Origin, you're hosed in a second flat. 25 round drum on that bad boy, and you're not coming back from it. So it's got fast mobility, and it just shreds anything close up. PKM also very much so S tier. It is the best LMG right now. It basically feels like the Bruin pre-patch. Bison, I used to like it. Don't really like it anymore. It's actually better than some of the other SMGs though, so I'm actually gonna pop that up at a C rank. Ram 7, very solid assault rifle, fast fire rate, pretty good damage, very good up close. A rank on that one. R90 shotgun now with the Dragon's Breath rounds, also a shredder, but I think the Origin beats it out still, so we're gonna put that down in an A rank. Rytech AMR, absolute trash sniper rifle. There's been a lot of bugs with it. The only redeeming factor is the explosive rounds. So instead of giving that an F because it's not as bad as the Dragunov, we're gonna pop that up at a D. Still not a good choice for Warzone. SA-87 did get a little better, but still not great. I'd put the SA down at C rank. Scar, in my opinion, not viable with how small the magazine size is. That's a difficult hurdle to jump over, especially when playing in squads. So FN Scar, we're looking at D rank. SKS, out of the DMRs, this is, in my opinion, the best. I'll pop that up at a B rank. Can be used with large magazine sizes, and it does hit pretty hard at range, but if you get anything close up, you're done for. Striker 45 round or 45 hollow point. F, magazine size is tiny. It's 12 rounds. They can melt in single player, solos. If you go anywhere else though, not gonna work. Regular Striker 45, not ever really been a big fan. Just does not do enough damage. Until they prove me otherwise or patch it to make it stronger. That's going in D tier. Uzi 41 AE rounds. These are pretty vicious. You can do some work with the Uzi. I would put that at the B. Standard Uzi though does not hit super hard. So I would pop that down at D rank. VLK Rogue, terrible shotgun. And then the Rogue Dragon's Breath isn't bad. Sorry, Dragon's Breath up here. Regular Rogue. F. Terrible weapon. AN-94, very good assault rifle. I think it can hold its own versus a lot of different weapons. With the right attachments, you can really make this guy a mid-range monster. The only thing that kind of throws me off is the burst. As the first shot, it bursts and then goes into fully auto. So AN-94, I'm going to pop you up at an A rank. I still think it's a very, very viable option as far as assault rifles go. ISO, I was digging on it like the first day I got it and really enjoyed it, but the run speed, movement speed with the larger mag was the same as a base PKM. So you're running slow with a SMG like that. It's ridiculous. So the ISO, you got to go, man. F class, that needs buffed. P90, I still think it's very good. Some of the best ground loot you can find, and I started using a custom class with it, and it melts. That 50 round mag out of the factory frees up a whole nother attachment slot to make it even better. So try this one out custom sometime. I think you might be surprised. And I think we're going to put the P90 at B rank for that one. So there we have it. Season 5, patch 1.26 weapon ranking. I personally believe right now the meta is the Kilo 141, the CR56 AMAX, the M4A1, the AX50, the HTR, MP5, MP7, Origin 12, and the PKM. Everything else just falls short of that. I use some other things. Like I said, I use the FAL and sometimes the R90, shotgun, AN-94 when I'm feeling froggy. But beyond that, those S tier weapons are the meta right now. But let me know what you think in the comments. Go ahead and make a tier yourself. Share that with everybody. I'd like to know what y'all think. If you don't mind, like the video, share it, and give me a subscribe. That would mean the world. Also, if you like what you see, come back. We're going to be doing a lot more video content. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching. Give the video a like and a share if you'd like to see your there we have it, guys. Thanks for watching. That is the And there we have it, guys. Thanks for watching. Give the video a like, give it a share, and if you like the content on this channel, go ahead and subscribe. You can see everything that I'm doing and bringing you content at least weekly. So I appreciate all the feedback, and see you on the Warzone.